Hey guys, Dr. Kristie Ennis. As we get older, bone density and balance tend to both decrease a little bit. I actually have experienced both of those due to an eating disorder when I was younger and lots of injuries. So these exercises that I'm going to show you have helped me to keep my bone density level straight, along with some other ones, which I'll link for you, and help my balance. So hopefully they will help you today too. For all these exercises, you do want a nice sturdy chair in case you need to hang on. We're actually going to sit in it for one of them. So again, hanging on if need be. If not, and you really want to challenge your balance, find a point ahead of you that is not moving. That helps. You're going to come right up on your toes as high as you can, and then very slowly with control, lower back down. So clearly balanced, right? Because it's a little wobbly as we come up. But also what happens is ankle range of motion can lead to decreased ankle range of motion can lead to an increase in falls. So that helps with this. And the slow lowering is really important, not just for balance, but it helps actually to lengthen and strengthen the tendon out. Key for all of these exercises as well is to work until you feel a little bit of fatigue. That's how we actually make changes in the muscle, and it makes enough pull on those bones to help increase that bone growth too. Pretty cool stuff. So if you need to make this one a little bit harder, you can always go ahead and do this on one leg, which I definitely need to hold on to if I do that, but you can feel those calf muscles working even more. To make it even harder or a little bit different, if you go ahead and hold a pair of dumbbells and come up and down on those toes, that will be harder too. So goal is to make it as hard as you can to get tired by about the 10th or 12th rep, and you'll start out with 2 sets for each exercise. Next exercise involves a step. The higher the step, the harder the exercise. So I always tell people start off a little bit lower. If you don't have a step, you can go ahead and throw together some thick textbooks maybe that are, sitting there collecting dust, even phone books if you're old enough like I am to know what a phone book is. Or if you have a 1980s Reebok step, that works too. So I am going to show you an alternative to holding onto something sturdy as well. If you grab a broomstick, a dowel, if you need a little bit of balance help, but not a lot, this is great because it's still a little unsteady, but gives you just that little extra oomph to help you out. If it's not enough, by all means, please continue to use a sturdy surface as you're doing this. So foot is going to go on the stairs. We're really working in through those quads as we do this. You really want to concentrate on using this leg that's on the bench to do all of this work. In other words, you don't want to just push right from the floor. That's kind of cheating a little bit. So think about as you push up, you're squeezing into this quad here and trying to get all the way straight. And then think about shifting your weight back, that hip back, that actually engages those glutes a little bit more. So again, hanging on with the opposite arm for stability if needed. Obviously a firmer surface also if needed. Same idea, principle holds as to how many reps and sets. If you need to make this a little bit harder, you go ahead just like that first exercise, and you're going to go ahead and add a dumbbell right by your side. Grab a band if you've got it for this next exercise. The higher up the band is, the easier it is. The lower down that band is, the harder it is. Grab onto your steady chair if need be. And from here, it's just a tiny bit of a shift over onto one leg. This opposite leg is going to come straight out. My feet are going to still stay pointed forward so that we're really engaging in those side hip muscles. Just a little tiny bend in this standing knee so that it's not locked. Again, no hands if you can. And again, side glutes are super important because they help actually stabilize the pelvis so that we're not wobbling while we're walking. Make sure to do both sides for this one. Keep that band for the next one, and we're going to concentrate on those posterior or back butt muscles that also still help support that pelvis and spine. So with this one, it's okay to lean a little bit as long as it's coming from more of a trunk or a hip pushback. You don't want to just bend into the back. I turn my my foot that's moving out a little bit so I can help clear the ground, and then it's extend that leg straight back. Make sure as you're doing this one that you don't, like I said, lean forward more. You really can think about squeeze those glutes at the end. You only have about 20 degrees of hip extension. So if you get a really big swing, you're probably going to use your back, and you'll know because you'll start to feel it in your back. So it's just that small motion there, engaging in through those glutes. And again, both sides. Last one with the band to work on the front of the thighs and of course that balance. So from here, think about actually engaging your abs. That helps with everything. You're gonna pull that belly button gently in and then lift that knee up without doing this. So by all means, please, I want you to challenge yourself, but if you do this exercise and you're like this, then you're not engaging really where we want to. So 100% okay to even just put, a couple fingers down on that sturdy surface. Or like I said, use that dowel so that you make sure that you still have good form. That's still always going to be important. If this feels challenging, any of these band ones, please feel free to start doing them without the band, and then you can progress right to that band. I like the alternating because that's kind of how we walk and move, right? We one leg, then the other. If you need to as well, though, you can start just on one side at a time. For this last one, you get to sit down. Yay! But not for long, of course. So you're going to get towards the edge of a chair. Start out with a chair with handles in case you need to use them to push a little bit. Keep a nice flat back. You're going to lean forward a little bit, though, to help yourself get up here, because that's exactly what we're doing. If you need to, like I said, go ahead and you can push to go ahead and stand up. That's kind of level one. If you need to, again, use those handles and look back to make sure you don't fall, right? That's important as you go to sit back down. Make it a little harder. Rest those hands on your legs. You're still getting a little extra assistance, but not as much as with the handles. A little harder still is look ma, no hands. Same idea, really squeeze, stand all the way up. Shift those hips nice and far back so you can get more of those glutes engaged too. A little harder still, do a staggered stance. So the leg that's behind is the leg that's going to be working harder. And it's, whoa, let's see, even wobbly for me there, but I can really feel this left leg of mine engaging even more. Hardest still, we'll see if I can do this one today, because I don't know, sometimes I can, is actually doing, woohoo, see, not well. Don't do that. I'm not ready for that one yet, right? But single leg would be the last and the most difficult level, and then even adding a dumbbell in there.